Stardew Valley is probably my all-time favorite game ever made, and it's clearly been the star of the channel for the past few years, but not many of you know how my story with Stardew Valley originally began. My first experience was actually on the original Nintendo Switch sometime back in like 2018, so we're going to be taking a little trip down memory lane together today, and we're going to have a look at some of my personal farms, including my first ever farm, none of which I don't think I've ever shown before on the channel. I've loaded them up briefly just to make sure they're okay, but I haven't stepped outside on any of them, just so that we can truly relive the memories together, and now we get to enjoy them on the Nintendo Switch too. Thank you so much to Nintendo for sponsoring this video. No matter what we find today, my more portable farms are really special to me. Each one has its own story that represents something that was like happening in my life, and I'll get into all those stories as we actually jump into the farm tours. But obviously the most important one for this channel was my first ever farm. We wouldn't be where we are today without this one taking root. This farm is actually where I fell in love with Stardew Valley and really cozy gaming as a whole. I started it as a way to keep me busy on my train journeys, mainly home from my old corporate job. I had to find a way to occupy myself for those train journeys, so I would chuck my Nintendo Switch into my bag and load up Stardew Valley as I am sat on the train just to kind of escape, give me a way to transfer myself from like work mode to relaxed home mode. Now obviously back then that wasn't my original Nintendo Switch, but in that time I didn't really know anything about the game. I wasn't really watching Stardew Valley content, I didn't really know of the wiki. It was just me and my little escape to the farm. So that's why I'm excited to take a look at it together today, because I really don't have a clue what I'm going to find. Now fast forward to this year, my husband and I upgraded to the Nintendo Switch 2 back when it released in June. We both play on it, but really I've been hogging it quite a bit because it really has been quite the upgrade. The main highlight for me has been the larger screen with the increased resolution, so we're now at 7.9 inches at 1080p, and it's got HDR, so the colours are really popping. For me, the visual upgrades really help bring the cozy to cozy gaming, especially on days where I'm not feeling so great and I need to just like be horizontal in bed for the day, or even quite simply looking great when I'm craving some gaming out and about. Now even though the screen and the Joy-Cons are larger, it's still super comfortable to hold even for longer sessions, or if you don't fancy holding the whole console, you can just whack out the kickstand and play it in tabletop mode, whether you detach the Joy-Cons or by connecting the new Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller, which Nintendo kindly sent me as part of an amazing care package. Thank you so much, Nintendo. Now they told me they were going to send the new Pro Controller and the camera accessory for this video, so we get to check those out together. But they also snuck in something extra, and when I first opened the suspiciously large box, I saw something underneath and I was like, no, they didn't. Surely not. They sent us a whole extra Nintendo Switch 2 console, so now my husband and I have one each.
What?
Now we both have one.
We do. What?
Thank you, Nintendo.
Nintendo, we love you.
I looked in the bottom, I was like, there's something else in here. Now we're enjoying the ability to play more games together when we're not feeling something couch co-op, or we just want the convenience of our own screens when playing together. Plus, when we're at our own desks, we can use the game chat feature to chat to each other with the integrated voice chat, share our screens so we can see each other's point of view, and with this camera it means that Michael does not get to escape my face. Alright, so, game share, we're doing it via game chat. Then I can invite you there.
Waiting for Emma to start the voice session.
Oh yeah. I didn't notice the start button. Okay.
I can create you pathways up.
Makes my life so much easier. Ready? Go! Help me through the spikes. Thank you. I think that monster's following us. Okay. Oh! Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry.
And I'm straight into it. I was blocking his attack. I just blocked his attack. Bye.
Hey! The camera's really awesome, by the way. It was really easy to set up. It was literally just plug and play into the console and you're ready to go. And I love the fact that it's got a little privacy shield too for when you're not using it. The Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller features the new C button so we can connect to game chat easily from there. It's super comfortable to hold, but it's the back of the controller that interests me the most. We have two new buttons, the GL and GR button, and you can map them to perform some of your most frequent actions a little bit easier in game. So like for me, in Animal Crossing New Horizons, I've mapped them to the left and right arrow buttons so that I can cycle my tools super easily without my thumb having to leave the joystick. Let's try that again. In other games, you might want to map them to things like sprinting or jumping, whatever suits you best. Now, I've enjoyed several Cosy titles since the Nintendo Switch 2 came out this year, so if you're after your next Cosy escape, especially with the holiday season here, I want to tell you about some of my favourites. You might find your next play in there. It's safe to say that news of the Animal Crossing New Horizons update and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition kinda sent Cosy gamers everywhere into a little bit of an excitable frenzy, and I am absolutely part of that. This game's become part of my wind-down routine, so I take it to bed with me in handheld mode, do a little bit of work on my island, which the island I'm showing you here, I originally decided I was going to go with like what I called a Chaos Core theme. It's very much still a work in progress, but the idea is that each of the builds are not necessarily going to be themed what you would expect them to be, really, except for maybe the residential area, which is supposed to be like suburban city core. That's obviously as expected. So like my farm area, which is still very much unfinished, but I want to kind of have this themed as space core. I'm thinking fairy core for my fruit orchard. And for my entrance, the first thing everyone sees as they step onto the island, that's going to be trash core, because that is very chaos goblin of me. It is called Goblin Town after all. But at the moment, I'm trying to get everything ready for the update coming in January, whilst really fighting the urge to reset. There's just something about that like new island feel. But I really got to resist, because I'm pretty sure that everything I already have now is going to become much more useful, especially when the new content rolls around. And it's all going to be looking even better with the improved visuals, so they're going to be increasing the resolution on the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. But aside from that, the Nintendo Switch 2 version is also going to have like a new megaphone item. You can use the built-in microphone to call out to your villagers and find them a little bit more easily. And the limit for friends visiting is going to be increased from 8 to 12 players. Plus, if you've got a camera accessory, you'll be able to see their faces from within the game. Though my personal favorite feature that I'm looking forward to the most is going to be the addition of mouse controls. I can't possibly explain how much of a game changer this is going to be for me. As someone who gravitates towards the precision of a mouse, it's going to make decorating much more of a smoother experience. And maybe this will be my sign to give some custom designs a go too. That's still a couple of months away, but for right now, here are some other games that I have been enjoying too. So we've got Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. This one is an enormous life sim where you can take on your favourite activities such as fishing, foraging, mining, cooking, all whilst adventuring your way through a massive world which is looking incredible on the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. That benefits from the higher resolution and increased frame rate too. With the characters you meet along the way, you get to build, decorate with furniture you've crafted, and even terraform your base camp with the help of your robot friend. So if you love Animal Crossing, I'd bet you'll love this one too. I've also had some fun with Tamagotchi Plaza for a good dose of nostalgia. Here you get to help your Tamagotchi friends run their stores and improve the town. And in the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, you get a few extra shops that take advantage of the new control features. And like these use the mouse controls in really fun and unique ways. Like in one of them, you actually hold the mouse control upside down and swipe over the top to throw shurikens at targets. I wasn't expecting to see something like this in the game, and it was really cool to feel like I'm learning something new. Then finally, for games I have been enjoying, we've also got Donkey Kong Bonanza. Sure, you could argue this one's a little less cozy, but my husband and I have been playing it together and it is really bundles of fun. And we have to add a touch of chaos in somewhere, right? I very much approve of the world building in this. There's loot above and below ground. You really got to explore and smash your way through every inch. This one's been like our special occasion game, so my husband and I both played it together on our birthdays, and we're going to be taking it away with us to our little Christmas getaway coming up. Now, in doing this together, we've been having fun with it in couch co-op mode, but now that we have a second Nintendo Switch 2, we've got the added convenience of using our own screens via the game share feature. That can either be done console to console locally or via the game chat. Once you're done out in the wild hunting those bananas, there's also an artist mode to relax with, which I only just recently found out about. This lets you use the mouse controls to create your own rock sculptures, so I had to give it a go for myself. The hero started with an apple-shaped rock, and I ended up sculpting it into a prismatic Junimo. I simply must bring Stardew wherever I go apparently. But isn't this awesome? You don't look too hard, it's kind of a masterpiece if I say so myself. There are several other games that I have previously enjoyed on the channel that are also available on the Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, you have your farming sim style games, things like Fae Farm and Paleo Pines, but also some other favourites such as Dinkum and Minecraft, which run better on the Nintendo Switch 2. So now we get to take these favourites on the go. Now those are some of the games I have been enjoying, but I do have a bit of a wish list for this holiday season. Let me know if you've given these games a go too, or if you're adding them to your own wish list. First up, for some farmier vibes, we got Story Seasons Grand Bazaar, where we move into Zephyr Town, growing our crops and raising our animals so we can sell our produce at our own stall. And over time, as you put down your roots there, you get to help restore Zephyr Town's Grand Bazaar to its former glory. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition will have upgraded visuals via increased frame rate and resolution, plus you have the mouse controls for more flexibility in how you want to play. Whilst I didn't get too far into the game, I had fun with my time on Rune Factory 5, so Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is also making my wishlist. This one does have farming as well, but you're using your powers as an earth dancer to help restore the town and fight off corrupted monsters, all in a traditional Japanese-inspired environment. It's going to be looking even better on the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, again with higher resolution and increased frame rate, so you really get to enjoy the details. And you're probably going to spot a theme here, but I'm being drawn in by the mouse controls again. I also really want to give the adorable Hello Kitty Island Adventure a go. They just got their Nintendo Switch 2 edition recently, so now we get to enjoy the cutesy aesthetic and our favourite Sanrio characters with the upgraded visuals too. Playing with your friends now supports the camera accessory so you can see their faces in the game, and as you can probably guess, I'm going to be playing this one with the mouse controls as well. It's going to make renovating your cabins and your island so much easier. The next one's a little bit further away, but as someone who enjoys Pokemon and Animal Crossing, I've got my eyes on Pokemon Pokopia. That's coming out in March next year as a Switch 2 exclusive. For this one, we get to play as Ditto, building our very own paradise and decorating it from head to toe for our Pokemon friends. Now there's one more Nintendo Switch 2 edition of a game that I want to mention which we don't have a set date for. The trailer says sometime in fall, and that is for Stardew Valley. The upgrade's going to be free for most people if you already own the game, and for those who love farming with their loved ones, it's going to bring a new split screen mode for up to 4 players, as well as the ability to use game share locally. You can get a co-op farm going off of one copy of the game when you're hanging out together. But in the meantime, you can still use the game chat feature to chat to each other whilst you play together, and see what your friends are up to in Pelican Town whilst you're screen sharing. I think you know what I'm looking forward to the most though, and that has to be the mouse controls coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Yeah, I can't stop talking about them. But anyway, with that, it's probably the perfect time for us to jump into our farm tours. Not gonna lie, I'm kinda nervous. Now for these, I think I'm going to go from newest to oldest. And you can see that these first 2 farms are in summer year 1, so there's not going to be quite as much to see, but they're still very important to me. As I said, I don't know what these are actually going to look like. All I've done is quickly load in and just make sure they're all okay. Honestly, we're in for a treat. So let's start with this top one here. We're going with the Wilds farm first. So this one I think I did on the Wilderness farm simply because I hadn't done it before. And this one I started on the trip to Florida for my husband and I's wedding and honeymoon. That's about 3.5 years ago. Now I'm a really nervous flyer, so I needed something calm and comforting to distract me from what was going on around me. And it gave me something fun to do when we were just having a little bit of downtime at the hotels between the intense park days. I don't relax very well, so I need something to do, and this was perfect for that. So here we are in the house, not very much going on in here. Outside though, we have some paths down, color-coded chests. I've actually got, for the middle of summer in year 1, that is, for me, a lot of sprinklers and quite a lot of crops. I am proud of that. Obviously, this farm is the one that I started with the most experience into the game so far. I mean, still a lot less than I have now, but at this point I was watching Stardew content, so I had gained quite a lot of tips. I think that's a tea sapling there. We've got a tapper going and some, what jelly is this? Strawberry jelly? I've even got a barn being built and the coop is up and running. Ooh, let's have a look at my animals. We'll look through the menu. So we have Filbo the cat and 2 default names because I am terrible at naming things. Usually I have to really come up with a theme to make this work, and clearly I did not do that. We've got a meteor I can't yet mine, and why don't we also have a look at the community center in a minute? But I think that there's not really that much going on this farm. But honestly, yeah, for the middle of summer year 1, I am pretty proud of where this is. Using the menu to look at the community center here, so we've got 1 bundle done in the pantry. The crafts room has quite a lot done, just things that are out of season now. The fish tank even has a couple of bundles done, and the vault just has 1 more to go. Bulletin board still untouched, and it's back to the pantry, so I must have finished the boiler room. We have minecars. Yeah, this one was good for me, taking my mind off things whilst, on the plane rides, and just kind of passing time when I really needed to rest. But obviously, given that I made this farm right when I got married, it's obviously tied to a very dear memory, and I think that's also why I haven't really played it since then, because I just wanted this farm to be about that, no matter the state that it ended up in. Now we're going into the Oceanside farm. I'm guessing this is a beach farm by the name of it, but this one is just a few months older than the wild farm that I played at the wedding and honeymoon trip. This one was at the start of 2022, but basically before we moved into this place, we actually lived in a caravan for a couple of months. It was winter, it was very cold. So my guess is I picked a beach farm here to like give me some like kind of warmer vibes. But obviously it was a very stressful time back then, so I needed something fun and familiar to escape to and just kind of like let my brain switch off by hanging out on my farm. Yeah, I think by the house this is definitely a beach farm, but let's have a look what's outside. This one again, I was watching Stardew content, so I mean there are quite a lot of crops. We are towards the end of summer. What is going on here? This is cat jail. Why have I got cat jail? Oh my god, I need to fix that right now. I can't believe that. I don't know why I've left this cat like in a little cat jail here. Let me move this chest up a little too. That's... Oh, I've made it worse. Hang on. We'll do it from this side. Be free, cat friend. Oh, never mind. It wasn't cat jail. There was just a jar of jelly in the way. That's embarrassing. I was going to say, like, why would I have done that? Either way, what is even the cat's name? Miso. Miso, you weren't trapped before, but you're definitely free now. You have multiple exits. And looking at this menu, oh, I have a few chickens as well. Clearly went with the default names here. I mean, I think even Miso is like the default cat name. Still no good for naming stuff, but let me see if I can find my coop because it's definitely not at the top. Yeah, this feels right. It was down here. Here's my little coop. Have I been in here recently? We have 4 eggs, so I must have actually been keeping up with this pretty well. And I want to see if I was only watering my crops or no, I didn't. I actually had some sprinklers here. Now, notice that there are no quality sprinklers this time. I mean, there's one, but I think that's one I get from like a bundle or something. So I had a lot more sprinklers going on than the other one. Like even the difference of a few months of learning the game, you can see the difference in the progression because the first farm we looked at was earlier in the season and this one is later and I have like less going on. Kind of just committing to watering these crops. But yeah, this was like a nice little like escape mentally. It was cold and really I just wanted to be on a beach. What about the community center in this one? How are we looking here? So I've got a few pantry bundles done here. That's not too bad at all. And the craft room, again, it's just out of season stuff. I've even got an extra bundle done in the fish tank. So I am further behind on the vault, so not quite as good with the money making. One done in the bulletin board, and I think the boiler room's done, so I do have the minecarts as well. But yeah, this was my escape to the beach whilst we were essentially house hunting in a very cold and very stressful time. A time that kind of like symbolized a load of change as well, because I had also just been made redundant from my old corporate job. But given the kind of time that it was, it does also make sense that I did leave this farm in the past. Now, last but definitely not least, we have the little farm here. This was my first ever Stardew Valley farm. Like I said, this was a good, like, maybe 7-8 years ago, so I have no idea what this is going to look like. You can see that we're in winter year 2. I do have quite a lot of money going on here, and this is almost 63 hours in. This was what made me fall in love with it all. Not sure about what's going on with that red lip, by the way. I would never pick that now. But I touched on it at the beginning, how this farm was mostly played on train journeys from work, sometimes to work if I wasn't too sleepy. It helped me pass the train journeys and kind of just like relax me, take me from work mode to relax mode. Or if I was playing it to work, it was kind of just like giving my brain a little bit of good, fun, positive things to do before I get into the work stuff. The main train journey, like into London, I used to work in London, was like between 40 and 60 minutes depending on the train. So I had plenty of time to get a few game days in. I used to just whack my Nintendo Switch into my bag and off we go. And I think I used to play this sometimes in my downtime too, like at weekends or on evenings and such. But as you can see, we do have one house upgrade going on. I noticed there's nobody here, so I don't think I'm married to anyone. We've got all of my chests, I think, inside. They are color-coded and stuff, but I don't know how I've arranged them. I've got sailor's cap in here, one single fairy stone. What else have we got? Oh, here are some of my other minerals. What's going on in my inventory? I just noticed there's a ruby, a jade, some quartz, and 4 staircases. Did I just go to Skull Caverns? Was I planning to go to Skull Caverns? Speaking of Skull Caverns, oh, interesting. I have only been to floor 2 of Skull Caverns in winter year 2. What the heck? And as you can see with my levels, the only one I've maxed is farming here. Mining, foraging, fishing, and combat are all kind of lagging behind. And I even spy a community center button there. Now, oh, we're almost at the end of year 2 and I still haven't finished it. It's the chef's bundle and I'm waiting for a poppy. How could I forget a poppy? Yeah, so I guess unless the traveling cart comes through for us, I'm kind of stuck for a little while. But back in the day, I wasn't really looking at any guides or anything like that. I was just kind of going in, playing the game, having a little bit of fun. Oh wait, that's the slingshot. I never use the slingshot. The slingshot has stone in it. Why am I using that? I don't even remember what I was using that for. That's hilarious. Okay. Now looking in all of my chests and stuff, do I really not have a poppy? I mean, I guess I must not have if I've got to winter without one. Yeah, clearly I haven't grown one because here are all of my crops. Does that mean that outside I don't have any chests? Because I didn't see anything. Ah, I have 2 chests.
Huh?
Hang on. Are you noticing something about the field here? In that, you know, there is only 1 sprinkler? I know that in winter, obviously, things are different. You can't really grow crops. I mean, you can now, but back then, powder melons didn't exist. You could do forage, but I probably wouldn't have wanted to do that. I have a few tappers on trees and such, and we do have quite a few fruit trees, actually. I'm guessing I must have bought all of these, too. I also noticed that up here, we've got a little coop area going on. I want to go and have a look at my animals in here, and we are fully upgraded. Let me use the menu to have a look. So, Snooch the dog, I think that is a default name. We do have some random generated names and some not random generated names. There is no kind of like theme about any of it though, so I don't really... Zelda the bunny. Zelda the bunny, I must have been playing Breath of the Wild as well. What is going on with these animal names? Yeah, like I said, there's like no real theme about them. I guess it was just like whatever came to my mind if I wasn't just letting them like random generate. What is going on with these? Just next door over here, we have a little cabin. I wonder if I must have built this instead of a shed because I know I didn't play this co-op and yeah, I did. We have like a handful of kegs, a crystallarium that is doing nothing at all. Let's rectify that. Stick a jade in there. It looks like I'm making coffee more than other things. What's going on in this chest? We have a whole load of produce that I want to put in there. Oh, I do notice that we have some furnaces, so I must have been doing my smelting down here. That does make me curious about something though. I want to go and check out the mines. So I crammed everything into this little building here, and that wine isn't something I'd usually produce. Oh, I was going to say it's blueberry wine. It's blackberry wine. Is that what? I think that's worse. Why have I made blackberry wine? I haven't got a clue what's in the other 2. It's probably more wine of some description, but oh my god, why did I make blackberry wine? That's hilarious. See what I mean? I was just kind of like vibing, chucking anything into a machine. Let's have a look what we have going in the greenhouse. I did notice some star fruit that was in that chest there, so I want to see what's growing in here.
I hope you're hungry for nothing.
Nothing at all. What was I doing? Or did I maybe recently unlock this? I mean, there's a torch up there, so I've clearly been in here before. I also noticed as we've gone through all of the chests, wait, have I been through the ones outside the house yet? I don't know if I have. The fact that there's only 1 sprinkler, I'm starting to think that maybe I was like rearranging or something ahead of spring. But there's no sprinklers in there, and there's also no sprinklers in there. Maybe I left them up at the mines for some reason though. Where are all of my sprinklers? What was I doing? Was I just going off this 1 sprinkler and hand watering everything else? And what is this scarecrow placement as well? What? I have the stone Junimo, but only 1 sprinkler. That did distract me. I think there was something else a little bit further left on the farm as well. I did notice there was another building here. We have what looks like a barn. And in that barn, we have... Oh, it's quite a lot of animals in here. Wait, I think I knew that, didn't I? I looked through this menu earlier, and a lot of them are like kind of decent. I guess the pigs must have been kind of recent, trying to get me some truffles. Maybe my focus was animals in this particular farm. The reason I was a little bit baffled at things like the blackberry wine is because I know that we have like 350,000 gold almost. I have almost 1 million in farm earnings. Where did I make that money? I kind of want to go through the shipping list and see if there's anything that stands out here. We've got a few that are just like unshipped still. Got quite a lot of cauliflowers, and I'm still curious as to if I've been like manually watering all of those crops. But we have shipped like quite a few crops over time. Nothing that would scream like I made 1 million gold though. Oh, 739 cranberries. Well, that'll be a part of it. I mean, even like the pumpkins, 56 is not that many. And 478 mayonnaise. I think there's part of our answer too. Also, the other types of mayo are in there too, just less of them, a bit of jelly. Only 48 wine, so yeah, not that many. And yeah, clearly I've never grown a poppy because it's also missing from the shipping list. What about the other page? I've shipped 72 wood and 102 stone. Was I like in a pinch? Was I trying to make some money there for something? What is going on with that? So quite a lot of blackberries, I guess, from blackberry season. See, I sold them back then. I didn't just eat them. Cheese is probably a big part of where we're making our money. 53 truffle oil as well. That'll do it. Oh, also we sold quite a lot of coffee beans. Actually, I'm wondering if because I made coffee that won't show up on the shipping list. So maybe coffee was part of it too. But yeah, as you can see, I definitely did things differently. This is completely empty because this is all pre 1.5. Did I do anything with the cave here? It's a mushroom cave. Not much to see. Okay, goodbye. This sprinkler situation is actually really bothering me. I want to go and have a look at the mines area. I can only hope that I've like made the sprinklers and left them up there, or just like picked them all up and left them up there when mining one day or something. So, okay, there's nothing here as well. So wait, I was definitely like carting all of my stuff to and from the mines every time. I must have been. There's no chests here. No furnaces. I never do that now. I leave all of that stuff up here. So the mystery of the sprinklers continues. But even this alone, I feel like really shows that I was just not looking into any Stardew content for like tips or anything like that. I know that leaving a chest up here is something that I learned from videos. So yeah, that really shows it. Now I wanted to see in the powers tab, I do have the club card. I want to go and have a look at the computer in the casino. Mind you, I have the club card and I never actually collected it, so let's move that bouncer out of the way. Thank you. So this thing tells you a few extra stats on your player. 407,000 steps, 191 gifts given, so I was doing decently with the gifting. I'll have to have a look where the friendships are. I've tilled and crafted a lot apparently. Monsters slain, 877. Not bad. I've caught almost 600 fish on this farm. So I have done a fair amount of fishing on this farm, unfortunately. Make of that what you will. I've planted 1,270 crops. I really don't feel like there's all that many, so maybe my focus really was animals on this farm. But yeah, I just wanted to have a look at that because I was curious as to like basically what I've been doing on the 62 hours. The other thing I'm thinking is I'm wondering if I also had some stuff sold directly to Pierre for the money too. And yeah, as for the friendship, so I'm not married or dating anyone. Our biggest friendship is 5 hearts. So I was like kind of working on people, but also like not really. I think I've mentioned before, like in previous videos and such, that the friendships really weren't that much of a priority to me, other than like really just once it became known that I have to marry someone to get the star drop for perfection. But up to that point, I just like didn't really bother, I guess. I don't really know how I got all of these. Mind you, 5 hearts in the space of almost 2 in-game years, that is like quite a long time. I guess I must have had some really specific fishing habits as well, because I noticed that like there's a lot of fish still missing from this despite the amount we've caught. I must have some crab pots going on somewhere, and I want to see like what is my most caught fish in here, because the algae and the seaweed are in the fishing tab. I wonder if they contribute too to that overall number. But I think what it might be, actually I can't really make it out. I think it's just kind of a mixture of everything. I seem to fish in various places. I think pike is my most caught. Maybe the old me didn't really mind fishing all that much. Can't say the same now. One of the points of wanting to show these farms is like I wasn't really sure like what exactly I was going to expect on these farms. I knew that my knowledge just like was not the same as what it is now. I will say I was not expecting this though with the single sprinkler. That is still a mystery to me. Maybe I sold them all, I don't know. But the point being, I do get comments semi-frequently saying, oh my gosh, I'm almost at the end of year 2 in the game, or I'm in year 4 of the game and I still haven't finished the community center. I haven't made friends with that many people. I haven't even gone to Ginger Island yet. I don't even want to go to Skull Caverns. All things like that. I put in 62 hours into this farm and I barely did any of it. I'm guessing I really spent my time just taking care of my animals and hand watering my crops. I didn't even care which of the artisan goods made me the most money. I just kind of chucked stuff in machines and went for it. And with the amount of time I put in, clearly I was having fun with it. This is really going to show like if you're enjoying yourself in the game, it doesn't matter how quick you do things. You don't have to finish the community center in year 1. You don't have to reach perfection by maybe beginning of year 3. Just enjoy the bits of the game that you want to enjoy. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Remember this farm. This is where we started. This though, I don't think I can recover from this. Like the video and let me know in the comments if you want to see me do more with my first ever Stardew Valley farm. Maybe we could fix it up a little bit together. Or a lot. Perhaps even work towards perfection together, especially when the Nintendo Switch 2 edition is out. Again, I couldn't see a release date anywhere for this, but I will shout when it's available, and there are several new releases coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, whether those are new titles or upgraded editions of some of your favourites. There's still a huge variety of cozy games you can enjoy on it in the meantime. I'll leave the ones that I mentioned today down in the description below, but with everything we've got and everything that is still to come, it's a really exciting time for cozy gaming, so the holiday season is the perfect time to get in on the Nintendo Switch 2, whether you're eyeing up an upgrade or looking for something new to treat yourself, or if you want to share the joy of cozy gaming with your loved ones. Thank you so much again to Nintendo for sponsoring this video, and thank you for reliving my first ever moments in Stardew Valley with me. Special thanks to my channel members for being amazing as always, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!